in the arena in the east of Glasgow. Hopes for Scotland. They were 6th in 2022. The Scottish men produced a great effort yesterday in the equivalent final, finishing 4th. They were so close to the podium. The Canadians won gold. Could they do the double? They've got a good chance at it. It was silver for England and bronze for Australia. That was the men. This is the women. And here are the contenders about to make their way out into this magnificent space.
It's the women's team final and individual qualification subdivision 3.
This session doubles as individual qualification as well for the all-around finals tomorrow and the apparatus finals taking place in the next couple of days. India, they finished 9th in 2022. Their team is Nishka Agarwal, the 18-year-old from Hyderabad. Pranati Nayak, the 28-year-old in her 4th Games. Ishita Revadia from Mumbai, who's been a national champion. And Pratishta Samanta, her 2nd Commonwealth Games. Welcome to the India team, and welcome to all of you wherever you're watching the action from and whoever you're supporting. Here's Team Singapore. They were 7th in Birmingham. Emma Go, Commonwealth Games debut for her. Charlotte Poon likewise, she's 15. Alina Tan, 17-year-old, makes her debut. Amanda Yap and Emma Yap, the sisters. Emma Yap is at her 2nd Games, and Amanda is the first ever Singaporean gymnast to make a World Championship final. Okay, here we go. 6th place in Birmingham, but what about now? Ellie Cheetham, what a story! She's back. Crystal Legg and Ava McFarlane, joined by Lottie Smith, who just looks overjoyed, almost overwhelmed with emotion. The Scottish team are here. Ellie Cheetham, who retired and returned last year after 6 years out. The Welsh team. 5th in 2022. Ruby Evans, a medalist at the World Championships on floor last year. Abby and Emily Roper, the twins born in Ipswich in England. Frank Stone, just 16, and 17-year-old Jemima Taylor, debutants at the Games. Wales considered to be real contenders to get onto the podium. So, those are your teams in this session. The rules are 5-4-3. You can have a maximum of 5 gymnasts in the team. 4 can go on each apparatus, a maximum of 4. You can put only 3 up if you wish, but 3 scores must count. You have to have 3 counting scores to be in contention. So if you put 4 gymnasts up on the apparatus, then you will have a discarded score. The weakest one will go. That is what is coming up. We've got on the uneven bars Scotland first, and getting them started will be Ellie Cheetham, who, as I mentioned, has returned after 6 years out, having had 2 surgeries. She went to the Scottish Championships just to have fun, won the national title. Not bad going. So Scotland and Wales will function as a group, as will India and Singapore, so we'll divide the rotations into halves. India and Singapore starting at the vaulting table. Welcome, one and all, wherever it is that you are watching the action from, whoever it is that you are supporting, however long you've been watching the great sport of artistic gymnastics. I'm on the Holpen, and I'm honoured to have your company. I'm honoured to have the company as well of Blythe Lawrence to talk us through what is going to be a rather dramatic and probably very noisy session.
Let's call this the subdivision of opportunity for extremely solid teams, for Scotland and for Wales. When you look down the roster, you think that these are amongst the strongest teams they have ever fielded for a Commonwealth Games. The Scottish trained extremely well the other day. They seem hyper-motivated and fired up. As for Wales, the 5 gymnasts that are representing them here are extremely accomplished, all of them. It starts with Ruby Evans, the reigning British champion, the silver medalist at the last World Championships on floor exercise. She will be joined by the likes of Jemima Taylor, who has competed at the Junior World Championships, Abigail and Emily Roper, who have represented Great Britain internationally, Frank Stone, who was at the European Championships last year. And there's just so much that can be said about them. For Singapore, they have Emma and Amanda Yap. Amanda Yap, a gymnast whose story went around the world after she qualified for the balance beam final at the World Championships. And India, led by Pranati Nayak, an extremely seasoned competitor and an Olympian. So wherever you look, you find great teams and big names.
Beautifully summarised, the subdivision of opportunity. Because coming up in the next subdivision, we have got the top 4 Commonwealth member associations after Birmingham 2022. That's England, the champions from their home games, Australia, Canada and South Africa. But more on them later. In terms of what we've already seen, I can tell you that currently holding the gold medal position, Malta. They are the strongest from the first half of the day. Namibia are in the silver medal position at the moment. If you are scoring 10.9 plus per exercise, you'll go ahead of Malta. So that's the benchmark. Roughly 10.9 is currently occupying gold. Worth just keeping that figure in your mind. If you're new to watching artistic gymnastics, have no fear, we'll guide you through it all as we go. But in simple terms, difficulty plus execution equals the total score. Difficulty starts from 0 and works up. Execution starts from 10 and works down based on deviations from correct form or correct technique. Everything that a gymnast does is documented in a rather weighty tome called the Code of Points. And every time a gymnast does something that they wish to earn credit for, it will be determined by the difficulty panel, difficulty judges, and they will assign it a value that will be added up for a total difficulty score. There are also various requirements, things they have to do in every exercise. We'll talk about some of those as we go through. Just having some checks to the vault. Yeah, exactly. I was looking at it thinking it seems to be a little lower than normal. The vaulting table has dropped and is being adjusted by the equipment specialists. So the warm-ups will continue as a result on the vaulting table. We brought you up to speed and we brought the vault up to height. Let's go. It's going to get a little noisy. Here's Ellie Cheetham. She's back in action. More on her story in a moment. Let's see how she gets on the uneven bars.
She'll go right into her first release skill, a pike Jaeger, nicely caught. There's the requisite full turn. She gets it out of the way early in the routine, and then a little short on her pack salto, and indeed she does have to stop the routine. Unfortunately, she will take a full mark deduction for the breakup of the rhythm. On uneven bars, you are not allowed to pause and reset.
She finishes superbly though. Excellent components in that performance from Ellie Cheetah. Her story is remarkable. She returned after a 6-year retirement last year, having had 2 surgeries. Went to the Scottish Championships just to see how it went and to have a bit of fun. She had so much fun, she won the national all-around title 3 months after returning. She is amazed to make her debut.
You kept it going.
In her
You kept
home
it going.
nation.
Well done. That's not easy to go pro.
It's not so much pride, it's a sense of it being unbelievable. We'll have a look back.
There's a lovely sense of refinement to her work as we take a look at one of her transitions from the low bar to the high bar. That is known as a Maloney, and she combines it with a second release skill. This is known as a Ginger, invented about half a century ago by a German gymnast. And it's combinations like that that are going to see her very well in terms of the difficulty. Whenever a gymnast can do 2 or more difficult skills in a row, including a release move on uneven bars, that is going to get them a lot of marks for that all-important difficulty score.
I love you.
A score of 11.5 for Ellie Cheetham. So 6.7 execution. Reflected,
The worst with us.
or reflective of that issue that she had having to reset. Now we go to a gymnast who was born in Stamford in Lincolnshire in England, but whose grandparents are from the Shetland Isles. Some of the furthest northward journeys you can make in the United Kingdom. Representing Team Scotland, it's Lottie Smith.
We're going to see a very similar entry from what we saw from Ellie Cheetham. Here comes the Jaeger. Hers is in the straddle position, and she's done so well to get her grip onto the bar. Unfortunately, that too is going to be a full mark taken off of the execution score. Every time we see a fall, that is what happens.
I'll just bring you up to speed again on the team rules here to remind you that the Scottish team will put 4 gymnasts up. 3 scores will count, so they will be counting an exercise that has a full mark, full deduction, unfortunately.
However, as you say so often, Ollie, it is not always about what you lose, but what you gain. The rest of this has been very clean. She's swung the second part extremely well, and just the dismount to go.
That is really mature gymnastics from Lottie Smith. What a reset, what a recovery. And yes, indeed, not always what you lose, but what you save, how much you manage to retrieve from a difficult position. And goodness me, is she a fighter? Is she a hard worker?
Falls aside, the execution has been very clean from Scotland on the uneven bars.
Let's catch up with Team India, who were 9th at the last Games. This is Shita Nevalia, 23-year-old from Mumbai, and she's been a national champion on vault. We anticipate that all of the Indian gymnasts will actually vault twice to try to get into the vault finals. The vault final, but only the first vault counts for the team score.
A powerful approach, and she's done so well to keep that Sukumar with a full twist on her feet. It quite easily could have gone the other way, but she really fought for this landing. There's a quarter turn onto the table as she takes off from the springboard, and then a backflip in the laid out straight body position and a full twist before she lands.
That's an unbelievably low landing that she pulls up from. It's extraordinary.
It's amazing how close her knees come to touching the mat, and yet they do not seem to.
Lottie Smith
That's
picks
like
up an
better than
11.15 score.
Come on, now.
Year-old Ava McFarlane. She's been a medalist at the Northern European Championships.
It's known as a clear hip circle into a toe stalder. The full turn that is a necessity for every gymnast on uneven bars. Front giants, and then just a forward-facing flyaway with a half twist.
Ava McFarlane, who trains at the City of Glasgow club. Goodness knows how she must be feeling right now. Well, that's how she's feeling right now. There we go. She had almost 2 years away from full training between 2022 and 2024 with very serious illness.
You're all right.
Ashita Rivale, 11.75 for the first. Here's vault number 2. This is just for her, not for the team.
Round off entry and a full twisting Yurchenko. Much the same landing as we saw from the first vault. Very low, but again, she keeps it on her feet, and that's important.
For those who are new to watching artistic gymnastics, good to know that when the gymnasts are vaulting twice to try to get into the vault final, they must perform 2 vaults from different groups, which means different ways of accessing the table.
And what we've seen from her is going forward first with the Sukahara style vault, and this is her backwards entry vault.
Come on, Stel, you got this!
It's 11.55 for
Come on,
Ava
Stel,
McFarlane.
Come on!
Strongest score so far for Scotland on the uneven bars. Now, they finish with the Scottish champion on this apparatus. Crystal Lake.
She has a much different composition from the rest of the team. She starts on the low bar. We're going to see a toe stalder with full turn into what's called a Van Leeuwen. And she just had problems with her grip, her right hand, as she grasped the bar, and that has necessitated her stopping the routine. Beautiful high Jaeger. She has gorgeous swing, but the pack salto is just not what she wanted to do today. She was a bit too high as she released. Let's have a look at the opening sequence of the routine again. Really intricate work. She has to get her feet down onto the bar and release at exactly the right moment. And you see what happens with the right hand. It just kind of peels off the bar.
Back she goes into the Ginga somersault. Trying to get as much out of this exercise as possible. Big, tight position, rotating a couple of times frontwards, but then large landing adjustment, and unfortunately for Scotland, it's been a really tough opening to their quest on the uneven bars. And you feel for them. They've got a lot still to go. It's not done yet. 11.7 for Revalia for the second. So that's an 11.725 average.
Come on.
So difficult when you come into a massive arena like this in your home games on the uneven bars, which are, I was about to say, a very unforgiving apparatus. I'm not sure there's any apparatus that's forgiving in gymnastics. Maybe floor exercise, you can just pause for a moment perhaps and take your breath if you need to?
Yes, potentially. Floor allows the gymnast that luxury, and the uneven bars are the only place around the arena where you just cannot stop once you start. It's part of the game.
India at the vaulting table. Mishka Agarwal. She is from Hyderabad, the 6th largest city in India. 7 million people live there. And she won the vault title at the National Games last year, beating the great Pranati Nayak. Hand goes down regrettably. That is the vault that will be registered for the team score for India. Big crowd gathered in the arena.
It's a difficult one, and you see that her ankles are both heavily taped. She didn't really need to put her hand down. But unfortunately, what is done, and she will take the full mark deduction because of it.
So 11.45 was her score. For Crystal Lake, it's 11.7. That is the highest score for Scotland on the uneven bars. So they have to regroup now and get ready to move to beam, which has its own challenges. Now, Pranati Nayak of India, she will only vault. It's a specialist apparatus for the 28-year-old. She made the final of the last games. This will be very difficult.
She has gone for an easier version of the vault that she uses often in international competition. This was a handspring with a front tuck and a full twist. We'll try to break it down. She goes forwards onto the table and then punches up into another flip and cranks the full twist around before she lands. Often she does this with her body in the stretched position, which gives it a higher difficulty tariff. But here in the qualifications, she's obviously opted to play it a little bit safe.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because she's indicating on the vault board a difficulty value of 5.2. It doesn't, of course, matter. You can do whatever you do and you'll get given whatever the mark is.
I wonder if in her run-up, she might have missed a step. There was one point where she did seem to stutter just slightly. She obviously decided to go for it, but maybe make the modification. She'll be judged on what she did. There won't be a deduction for having vaulted something different from what she actually flashed that she was intending.
If it were a sport like diving, it would be a 0 score for doing something different, otherwise indicated. You can probably work out who they're supporting. Traditionally attired, colourfully attired fans of Team Wales. As 11.95 is the score for Pranati Nayak.
And she has 0.3 of a point penalty for going out of bounds as she landed that vault.
So this needs to be a really high quality vault if she is to contend for a place in the vault final.
Going to see a different style of entry, the half turn on. The super armor vault with a full twist. Pranati Nayak is recovering from an injury that kept her out of competition a lot last year. She's had a couple of good international outings since then and said that it's really helped her gain her confidence back. Just about the only thing where you really see a palpable error here is on the landing with the large step back. That could cost her in the neighborhood of half a point.
Only the second Indian woman to compete in gymnastics at the Olympic Games. Amazing accomplishment, a true great of the sport in her country. Welsh team waiting to get involved. There we go. That's a useful score for her. She's now in 4th position in the vault standings. 12.8 for a 12.575 average. She's really brought her score up. Going to be a tough task to get into that vault final, though, with who's still to come. We'll see. Now, here is a gymnast who will also be hoping to contend for a place in the vault final. Protista Samanta from Kolkata, but that's very well done. I was about to say from Kolkata, she's actually from Howrah, but lives in Kolkata.
She moved there to pursue elite gymnastics training several years ago. She too has a good amount of international experience, including World Challenge Cup finals under her belt. This was a powerful piece of vaulting. The Sukahara with a full turn. She made it look easy to do. Gets a great amount of distance from the table and is able to spot the landing because she can actually see the mat from when she finishes the twist.
Scheduled to perform all 4 apparatus at these games. She did win a silver on floor at the Indian National Games last year, along with taking 3rd place in the vault competition. Now that is a really positive start. 12.95. Over 8.5 for execution. So a strong second vault here, and she's going to be a real contender to get into that vault final. It should be a slightly lower difficulty vault. She's indicating a handspring front pike half, and there it was.
Exactly so. Vault is one of the Indian team's strongest apparatus, a legacy left by Deepa Karmakar, who won bronze on this apparatus at the Commonwealth Games the last time it was held in Glasgow in 2014. This was, once again, extremely powerful vaulting. The handspring entry, and then a half turn in the air and a back pike off the table. Good height, but also good control on the landing. Maintains the pike position throughout. It's important for the gymnast to define whatever the position they are going for in the air, tucked, piked, or laid out.
The difficulty of the first vault, 4.4, the difficulty of that vault will be judged at 4.0. But certainly one would imagine that Protista Samanta will be in real contention for a spot in the vault final. She may well be the top performer in qualification after this display. Let's see what the score is. Well, there we go. She's well and truly the top. And there's some interesting mathematics here. 12.7 and 12.95 added together, divided by 2, but we add a 2/10 bonus to it, and that's really important. This is why the 2/10 bonus occurs.
The reason is because coming off of the table, the judges look to see whether the gymnast is flipping forwards or flipping backwards. And the gymnasts who do 2 vaults and do 1 in each direction actually earn this 2/10 of a point bonus. So for her, the first vault was the backwards flipping vault, the Sukahara style, with a back with full twist. And then the second one, which is known as a cuervo, is actually counted as going forwards off the table. So she gets that 2/10 of a point.
It's essentially a variety bonus.
Exactly. It was put in place actually to encourage variety in vaulting style.
And It's encouraging to see so many young spectators in the arena enjoying all of the action in Glasgow 2026. And great to have you with us as well. Watching at whatever time of the day or night or something in between it is when you are enjoying this. That'll brighten your day up, no matter what time of day. And the lovely thing about the Commonwealth Games, it's possible to support more than one Commonwealth association at the same time.
It's one of the beauteous things about gymnastics, actually. Everyone's very respectful, and fans around the world, no matter which nation or association they are supporting, can also appreciate the art and style of other gymnasts and what they do.
Now, we are at the halfway point of rotation number 1, so that means a switch of the teams. And you'll get very used to this as the subdivision goes on. We've now got the Singaporeans in action at the vaulting table, and this is the Welsh warm-up on the uneven bars. Halfway through subdivision number 3, rotation 1. So 4 rotations in each subdivision. The women's team final and individual qualification in artistic gymnastics. The Welsh have the Roper twins as part of their squad. And this is Abby. The first performance now to come from Team Wales. They were 5th in Birmingham. They have been spoken about quite rightly, and that's the respect that they deserve as very fine gymnasts, as medal contenders. They've earned the right to be considered medal contenders. Now, can they deliver? Over to you, Team Wales. Here's Abby Roper.
The uneven bars rotation is going to show us a lot about where Wales is. This will set the table for the rest of their competition. Cleanly through the Jaeger. There's the pack salto. She has very precise handstand positions, which adds an extra sort of polish to this routine. Getting her done in combination, and she's winding up for her dismount.
Oh goodness, so close to the bar and clipped it quite heavily. Saying that she's okay.
Gymnasts do that on occasion in training. It never feels very good, but she had good reflexes and was able to get the double tuck around.
Alina Tan of Singapore. Good starts for Team Singapore.
That's a very nice full twisting Sukahara in the tucked position. Good way for her to work into this competition. Powerful approach and a really well-defined tuck position, plus a very good landing, just a small step back. She will probably take a penalty of just a single 1/10 of a point for putting her foot on the red part of the mat there. That's considered out of bounds.
Do not let Singapore out of your mind during this, because they're a very good team. Young squad getting stronger and stronger. They could well contend 7th in 2022. Let's look back at Abby Roper.
And actually, she releases the bar too late. So she's too close to it as she starts the rotation on the double tuck. And the result is the clipped foot, which slows the rotation and also leads to the fall.
She is the reigning Welsh all-around champion. She has also represented England, but has flown the Welsh colours since 2022. Always a super group of travelling supporters, the Welsh fans in gymnastics competitions. have a look at Amanda Yap. 17-year-old Commonwealth Games debutant for Singapore. Excellent.
What a tiny full twisted Yurchenko vault. That's a great start for Amanda Yap. The Yurchenko comprised of the round off onto the board, the back handspring onto the horse. She does a layout somersault with a full twist coming off before she lands.
Abby Roper scoring 11.1.
Come on. Come on.
Now we have Jemima Taylor in action.
Full turn into her pack salto transition. Great held handstand. And that's a powerful Maloney right into a ginger. And she adds a full twist to her double tuck somersault.
Well done, Jemima Taylor. Bronze medalist on the uneven bars at the British Championships this year. They needed that from her. She's delivered for the Welsh team. Singapore have made a promising start. Now, Amanda Yap score 12.7.
Come on.
They're going to go on with Emma Yap. Go!
And once again, I believe that was a full twisting Sukahara in the tuck position. The same vault that we saw from Elena Tan just a bit ago. Yes, the half turn on, and then the back flip with the full twist in that tucked position. One thing she does really nicely is she keeps her legs together and her toes pointed throughout the tuck.
She's looking absolutely delighted. And she's right to be looking absolutely delighted. Jemima Taylor, 13.3. That is the second best performance we've seen so far on the uneven bars, behind Yuli Wan of Malaysia. Here is the first Welsh gymnast to win an individual medal at the World Championships. Silver medalist on floor in Jakarta last year, Ruby Evans. An enormous performer for her team.
This is an excellent place for her to start her competition, because if she has a nervous event, uneven bars is it. She's well through the Shaposhnikova to pack salto transition, and she's caught her ginger. Careful on the full turn, and now the blind, the front giants, and a double front tuck. Great landing. For somebody, yes, exactly, expected to be a crowd pleaser, a mood changer, and a serious contender. Alina Tan, she was the first gymnast to vault for Singapore. She scored 12. Now we'll see the last vaulter for Singapore. It's Charlotte Poon, silver medalist at the National Championships this year on this apparatus. Just 15, youngest in the team. Good luck to her. A different vault than we've seen from any of the Singaporeans. The Sukahara in the layout position. So no twist on this vault, but a more difficult body position. Keeping your body fully straight the whole way through the vault. An added challenge compared to the tuck position. This is lovely. Once again, straight legs, Knees glued together, toes pointed. You could cut that out and paste it into a gymnastics textbook. And just the smallest maneuver on landing.
Emma Yap scored 11.85 for her vault. The Singaporeans don't have enormous complexity to their vaulting, so the difficulty numbers are on the lower side compared to some teams, but they perform those vaults really nicely. That's all you can do. Just be as clean as possible. Ruby Evans, just like Jemima Taylor, 13.3.
Let's go,
Those are some compelling numbers from the Welsh on the uneven bars. Now this is Emily Roper, the last to perform for Wales on this apparatus.
Lovely handstand positions coming out of the Stalder, and she shows a Stalder Shaposhnikova up to the high bar combined with a pack salto. Great Van Leven. Blind front giant, and then a beautiful smooth Jaeger.
You know, the last time for the Commonwealth Games was in Glasgow. In 2014, the Welsh team won the bronze medal. Well, well, well. Will it be a happy homecoming to the dear green place for those that wear the red dragon?
This is the kind of start that you dream about at a Commonwealth Games. And for the Welsh to be able to anchor with Emily Roper on uneven bars is fantastic. Technically, this routine is superb. Her handstand positions are wonderful. Her swing is smooth as silk. Everything hit exactly the way that she intended. And plenty of difficulty in these combinations of elements. This is an exercise that could win a medal in apparatus finals.
That's if she can get beyond her own teammates, because there are two very highly placed Welsh gymnasts at the moment, and only two can make it into the apparatus finals.
And capped by this stuck full twisting double tuck dismount, she could go beyond her teammates with the score.
There's a lot of difficulty, isn't there, in here, and that certainly is going to help.
The difficulty, also the execution.
Well, that's 13.6, a 40.2 for the Welsh team. Now, that has really impacted them positively. We'll come back to that in a moment. 12.35, Charlotte Poon. Really nice start from Singapore. They've maximised their difficulty level with clean execution for good total scores. After the first rotation, Wales are leading, and they are leading by a very good margin. We're showing you here all of the teams from this subdivision and the earlier ones as though they were competing at the same time. And that gives you a really good sense of how the competition would be progressing if every team were out there right now. It would be rather meaningless if we showed you a total score and then put Wales way down the leaderboard. So it's a better way to visualize it, but you won't see Malaysia, for example, or Namibia or Malta because they competed earlier. What I will tell you is just to remind you that Malta were in the gold medal position before this with an average of 10.9 per routine. The Welsh have just produced 13.4 as an average per routine. The competition has changed. Now, can Scotland change their competition? The Scots will be on the beam, followed by the Welsh, and we will have India and Singapore on the uneven bars. What a pleasure it is to have you with us. I hope you're able to feel how good the atmosphere is in the arena. The arena that is called the Arena. It's in the east of the city of Glasgow, very close to Celtic Park. So they're used to loud noises around here. And they're going to be supporting the Scottish team with gusto, of course. Ellie Cheetham, what an unbelievable, it is unbelievable, it's an almost fantastical story to come back after 6 years. We have been saying throughout that in many ways this is the Commonwealth Games that proves to not just the Commonwealth but to the world that you are in control of your sporting destiny, your gymnastics destiny. You want to take time away, take time away. You want to come back, come back. The days of you being described in almost geriatric terms at the age of 18, they're over, they're gone. That's history.
It's so true. More and more we are seeing gymnasts on the international stage who are in their 20s, even their 30s, occasionally their 40s, who are absolutely thriving and at the best places they have been in their careers, both physically and psychologically.
On the beam, Team Scotland, and Crystal Lake starts.
She mounts with a combination of 2 leaps, a switch leap, and then a switch leap with half turn. She earns, I believe, actually a 1/10 of a point of difficulty bonus for combining those 2 elements. All gymnasts have to perform a turn of at least 360 degrees on one foot. Unfortunately for her, although she doesn't come off the apparatus, she has to grab it and sit down, and that will be counted as a fall. So full mark deduction. It's also potentially going to impact her difficulty because the turn that she was going for was worth 3 or 4/10 of a point. She's unlikely to get that now. Double turn, very difficult maneuver on the balance beam. She handles it well. Many less seasoned gymnasts would have come off the apparatus.
Talked about how inspired she was 4 years ago watching Shannon Archer win a bronze medal on vault at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. A historic first for Scottish women. Nishka Agarwal of India.
We've seen a real evolution in Indian gymnastics over the past decade or so. On uneven bars, they still lack some of the difficulty of the top nations, but they've come quite a long way. The fundamentals in this routine are really sound.
Let's talk a little about handstands for those who are new to watching gymnastics. Handstands on the uneven bars.
The goal for a gymnast when she casts or comes out of a move like that, a stalder, is to hit a completely straight handstand. So your body essentially is completely vertical or at a 12 o'clock position, if you will. And there are deductions associated if the angle is not straight up and down. you have to be very close to vertical, or ideally at vertical, in order to avoid those execution deductions.
Yes, there's a little tolerance allowed, isn't there? And once that tolerance is passed, the tenths start to come off. 11.25 first score for Scotland on the beat. Oh, that is just wonderful. In support of Lottie Smith, here she is. So proud to represent Scotland, and there's a saltire with her face on it. She says she's the big sister and mum of the team.
The mount, the jump to split without using the hands, very difficult. Choreography to ease her way into this exercise. We're going to see side aerial, back layout, step out. Well done. And well controlled. There was half a second where you thought she might be in trouble, but she says no way. Oh, goodness. Sometimes you get through the really difficult area of the routine. She made it through the requisite acrobatic series, which is what tends to stress gymnasts out the most on beam. But sometimes with that comes a feeling of relief and a slight letting down of the guard, perhaps. And then when you go to do the next element, you find that you can come off. She has actually gone overtime. She'll have a 1/10 of a point penalty for that.
Well held in the dismount from Scotland's Lottie Smith. That's just acknowledging that she just had one of those moments there. .35. Ishka Agaval. Devalia.
Setting up for Akacha. Nicely done. Slight leg separation on the bail to the low bar. Really has to work hard to make the kip up to the high bar there, but cleanly into her layout dismount.
She did very well there, didn't she? Had to use a bit of core strength to get back up and get the swing going, but determined effort from Eshita Revalia, the graduate of psychology. They've really enjoyed their time in Europe, the Indian team. Came to train in London before moving up to Glasgow.
This, for her, probably the most difficult part of the routine. Just getting her feet back to the bar to make the kip. The Kachev early on was very well handled.
10.9 is the score for Lottie Smith.
Come on, Ava.
Now she turns her attention to supporting her fellow Scottish team member, Ava McFarlane of the City of Glasgow Gymnastics Club.
Very neat mount, the front walkover. Coming up, her acrobatic series, anticipating back handspring to layout, step out. Oh.
There's some really important context about Ava McFarlane that she wants the world to know, which is the incredibly tough time she's had overcoming very serious illness, inflammatory bowel disease, that actually restricted her for years from not being able to train on every apparatus. She could only do bars and beam for a long time. She's here doing a full all-around program at these games, which is absolutely huge for her. She said that she would never have believed she would be here at the start of her illness, and certainly not doing the all-around competition. She said that when she was first diagnosed, she looked for positive stories from people who were affected by her condition. She now wants to be that positive person for someone else. Whatever numbers get put next to her name, to any of the Scottish team's names, to gymnasts who've had mental blocks, to gymnasts who've retired and come back, they are more than numbers. They are an inspiration to the host nation in many different ways. 9.55 is Ishita Revalia's score. Pratishta Samanta is India's next competitor on the uneven bars. Started well on vault.
Vault is the apparatus that she is known for, but in a team competition, she's quite handy on the uneven bars as well. One thing that's still evolving for her is finishing the work in handstands that are straight up and down.
But as you say, a very useful component of the team score, that display from Pratishta Samanta. She's been top 25 in the world on vault. You don't often get to see her perform on the uneven bars.
The most complex work that she does in this routine is the sequence of pirouettes that come after her mount. And then there's the bail transition and a toe shoot to the high bar and straight into her dismount.
.11.1. McFarlane. And we finish with the Scottish all-around champion, the returning Ellie Cheetham.
She's got a very eye-catching entry to this routine. That's what's known as a candle mount. Back dive to chest stand. First big test, a side aerial. And this will be another what looks like a double turn in the Cossack position. Oh, and once more the unintentional dismount. The falls aside, what the Scottish have displayed in this competition has been lovely. They're not giving the judges much to take in terms of the way these skills are executed. Case in point, complex double turn on one foot. Handspring, back handspring. Last step right at the end of the beat. Cartwheel here to 1.5 twist.
For all of the Scottish gymnasts, there have been some beautiful components to their work. The matter of just stringing it all together to get those high scores has been tricky, but you can see the elements, you can see what it might be, what it nearly was. to Samantha, has an 8.5 score. And that will be a counting score for India because they only have 3 gymnasts on the apparatus. They've only got a squad of 4, like Scotland.
We're still up there. We're still.
To fulfill the acrobatic series requirement on balance beam, most gymnasts do 2 elements, a back handspring combined with some sort of layout. She actually does 3. Here's a different view of it, the back handspring, a second back handspring, and then she's running out of beam, but it doesn't phase her at all. Layout, step out, right on the end.
Ellie Cheetham is awarded 11.25.
11.25. We'll take it. 12.25.
Ariel, I love that. And what are your favorites?
Now we are in the second half of this second rotation. Just had to quickly check where we were there. It's been a very busy day of competition. Second half of the rotation, number 2 in Subdivision 3, and we have got the Welsh on the beam. Blythe, they haven't made too shabby a start, have they?
They have had a dream start on uneven bars. They're not counting a fall towards their team score. And in terms of what that gives them on balance beam, one can imagine that there may be a burgeoning sense of confidence. We'll see how that actually carries over in the competition because balance beam remains balance beam, and any team in the world will tell you that. Sometimes it goes right, and sometimes it just seems like all the stars and moons are out of line and you can't do what you want to. But the Welsh have made an excellent start.
Singapore will be on the uneven bars. If you're not too familiar with watching the Singaporean team, I can tell you that when they get to beam, there'll be much excitement there because of Amanda Yap's performance. There'll also be a lot of excitement when they get to floor because of Emma Yap, who is a lovely dancer, a very expressive gymnast. And for Wales, there'll just be excitement full stop, all the time, because they started brilliantly. Now, it's about keeping it going. Ruby Evans, first on beam for the Welsh. Good start.
She goes for the difficulty with the punch front mount. That skill alone, I believe, will get her 4/10 of a point in difficulty. 8 skills that count on balance beam. There's the second one, double turn in the Cossack or sit position. Balance beam is about control. It's about placing your feet and putting them down and bending your knees to absorb the beam so that you stay on. Back handspring, layout, step out. Double turn, risky, but well handled. Completely through the free walkover. She's almost home. Her dismount, typically very difficult. Round up double twist.
My goodness me! Wales are back in the business! What a joy this is to watch! She is a gymnast with such presence, Ruby Evans. First opportunity to see Emma go. She didn't compete on vault. She makes her debut at the Commonwealth Games.
Clear hip circle to hack salto. Toe stalder to a toe hecht to the high bar. And then a toe stalder to front tuck dismount.
Well, to keep the swing going, can't be the easiest thing when you come out with your team and then you have to stay there and wait for a full rotation to get involved in a setting as big as this. Kept the nerves under control.
She makes great use of one particular element, and that is the giant earth circle where the toes actually touch the bar. We see it here. That's a toe stalder. And then in the transition, the toes to the bar, and then she pings herself up to the high bar. And once more, just before the dismount, toe on, front tuck off.
.55, the second best score that we've actually seen on the beam so far. Abby Roper, who had a tricky start on the bar, she'll be waiting to really get things back on track, and that was a good start.
Very nice lunge front mount. The Welsh aren't afraid of difficulty. That's a variation of the same skill that she mounted the beam with. And just in those two alone, I believe, she has 8/10 of a point. And she's 1/4 of the way through the difficulty that we'll see in this routine. Fine double turn in the Cossack position. And if you think that looks easy, go on and try it at home, and you will discover that it's really not.
Move the coffee table first.
Definitely move the coffee table first. It's a lovely fluidity to this routine, not to mention very good amplitude on her leaps.
On the face of Abby Roper. You can imagine that the moment she finished her uneven bars routine, she will have just wanted time to speed up so she could get back out again and compete. Good execution score from Emma Go, 7.6. It's only a 2.4 difficulty score, hence the 10 exactly mark. Alina Tan started with a 12 on vault. She's been working on making her uneven bars routine more complex over the last year.
And she begins with one of the most well-flighted gingers you will see in the world. Beautiful release skill. Uneven bars the way that it ought to be done. It's a wonderful roundness to her swing. It's very full, showing great amplitude with everything she does as well. And a little problem there that has actually become a bigger problem because that, alas, will count as a fall. And a layout dismount.
But can we just put that ginger somersault in a museum? It was exquisite, genuinely world class.
Absolutely gorgeous. We see a lot of gingers. We don't often see them flighted that way.
11.65.
Come on,
Abby Roper. It's Emily Roper, who had that brilliant start on bars, the top performer, 13.6.
Going to get a much different and difficult mount sequence from her. Round off, layout, step out onto the balance beam. Oh, that's the trouble with the Cossack turn. If you are not just so, you are coming off the beam. And that's also going to impact her difficulty score. Because she didn't finish the turn, she's not going to get credit for both of the revolutions. This has been a display of quality, particularly in her leaps and jumps.
Regrettably, problems with the dismount for Emily Roper. Wales are still very much in the discussion. Things becoming a little more complicated though because of beam, as they often do.
And they do have the luxury of dropping a score, and they'll hope they can do that with that.
Alina Tan scoring 10.2 on the uneven bars. Amanda Yap, the first Singaporean gymnast to make a World Championship final. She'll go to beam next.
Blind through to Pike Jaeger, and look at the handstands. She's paying really close attention to hitting the vertical when she can. Right there, and again. Lovely work so far from Amanda Yap.
Golly, does she attack those handstands? Really works hard to try to get to 12 o'clock.
It sets her apart as well, the attention being paid. And you've got to commend Singapore because the gymnasts look very comfortable with the routines that they're doing. They don't always have immense measures of difficulty. And you see that in the dismounts from the uneven bars, just layouts for the most part. But they're doing what they can, and they're demonstrating real mastery of it.
Come on, Frank, you got it. Come on, Frank. Come.
11.1, Emily Roper's score.
Come on now. Come on, Frank. Lock in. Come on, Frank. Come on, Frank.
Frank Stone of Wales.
She starts as well with the front tuck somersault.
And she became the British champion on beam last year. This year won the Welsh title.
Back handspring layout, step out, solid as a rock. Or a stone. There is perhaps a bit too much time taken between those leap elements for her to get the connection, the difficulty associated with it. Beautiful side aerial. Side somi. Something she's doing very well is not really wobbling on anything. She's not giving the judges so far room to take a lot of execution deductions, but just as I say it.
How many times over the years, Clive, have we seen beam routines change in the clicking of the fingers?
The Cossack turn can be a gymnast's undoing on balance beam. There's a reason that those turns are so highly valued in difficulty. She's got a complex dismount planned as well. Round off double tap.
And she has just made that issue to one side. She's a high-quality gymnast, Frank Stone.
Oh, gorgeous work on balance beam. Unfortunate about the fall.
Nadia, 11.9. And we finish with Emma Yap.
And she's run into problems on her opening transition. What she meant to do, I believe, is switch her grip and start swinging in the forward position. Grip changes on uneven bars can be quite complex. They test the gymnast. And here she's essentially going to start the routine anew. Half salto transition to the low bar. And once more, just, oh, ow. Ow. It seems like she hit her foot on the metal that actually causes the uneven bars to be separated.
Oh, this is really unfortunate for Emma Yap, and it can sometimes be like this for gymnasts, especially when they have a start to the exercise where they can't really establish any kind of swing. She's got the crowd with her. She's got Glasgow with her at the friendly games. Emma Yap enjoying the friendship of Glasgow, and they love that she got through that. She showed real toughness. It's tricky for her. She was actually 15th in the all-around competition at the last games, and that will be a very low score for her all-around qualification prospects. It's a 9.8 for Frank Stone.
We'll have another look at Emma Yap on the uneven bars and this unfortunate fall. When you fall out of handstand on the bars, especially when you're in the midst of turning, it can get very complicated, and it's good to see that she is all right after this tricky go on the apparatus. Many gymnasts know this feeling when a routine has gone awry and not the way that you want it to. You do learn to simply draw a line under it and move on. She has more gymnastics to do here.
Yes, there is the skill that elite athletes have to acquire, whatever their sport, the ability to put the past behind them and to get on with whatever comes next.
And she'll know that. One routine does not define who you are as a gymnast, who you are as an athlete.
So we are waiting for Emma Yap's score to be calculated. That will then bring us to the close of the second rotation. 7.5 Emma Yap's score, bringing us to a close in the rotation.
And the score is in at 7.5. So that does conclude the rotation. One more round of applause, please, Marcelo.
The setting is the arena in Glasgow, the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Wales are at the top of the halfway stage of their subdivision, 75.5. What I can tell you is that their average, which was 13.4 per routine after one rotation, has dropped to 12.6. So they have had to count some lower scores than optimal on the beam. Now they are going to head to floor. It would be very useful if they happen to have a World Championship medalist there. Oh no, wait, they do, it's Ruby Evans.
And it's a stunner of a routine.
Certainly is. Stunner of an arena as well. We're going to start with Scotland on floor. That's going to be marvellous. If you're just joining the action now, I can tell you the Scottish team have had a tough start, regrettably, but they will really go for it now on floor, and they'll have the support of the Glasgow faithful, and then we'll have the Welsh on floor. And look who's last. Ruby Evans will be our final gymnast of the rotation, the silver medalist at the World Championships in Indonesia last year. The balance beam will be the home of India and Singapore, and it was at those World Championships in Indonesia that Amanda Yap became the first gymnast from her nation to make a World Championship final. Not only did she make a World Championship final, but she set a personal best in the final. Quite extraordinary. And in between qualifying and competing in the final, she had to fly home to Singapore to take her O-level mathematics paper 1, and then go back and do the rest of it afterwards. So the whole family was actually huddled together in her room at 10 p.m. on the last day of qualification to see if she had made it. They were hitting refresh repeatedly on the online scoring system, as many gymnastics fans around the world do, to see if their favourites have made it in. She thought she was going to skip the World Championship to focus on the mathematics exam.
She said that the whole experience taught her, actually, that if she can go through all of that, maybe I'm capable of doing things that I didn't think I could do. And she's actually taken a school sabbatical this summer to prepare for the international competition season.
Yes, this time she doesn't want to have any mathematics papers to attend to. But so many of these gymnasts are doing not necessarily exactly that, but they're doing something along those lines, juggling the complexities of the everyday world. Because elite athletes are human beings first and foremost. They're people who have car insurance to sort out. They're people who have difficult journeys to get to training because they're training a long way away from where their home base is. They're people who have families that become unwell. They're just normal people. They do the extraordinary on the field of play. And sometimes we forget that behind that is just a regular human being who's trying to make a success of their life and deserves our respect. Ellie Cheetham is starting for Scotland on floor. There's someone out there that Ellie Cheatham wants to thank. When she was in hospital after a surgical procedure that went wrong just before she returned, a woman in the hospital said, do all the things that you never really finished. When you get out of hospital, just go back and tick them off. And she thought, oh, maybe I'll have another go at this gymnastics business then. Things go too badly.
We'll take the competition one, it's fine.
Hope that woman knows what she's done and the part she played in the return of Ellie Cheatham. Here's Ishita Revalia of India on the beam.
Murmuring affirmations just before her mount. First big test, back handspring, back tuck. And unfortunately for her, she was a bit twisted in the air, and so she did not land with her hips and shoulders square to the beam, and in order to have a hope of staying on, that's what really needs to happen. India showing increasingly complex routines on all four apparatus. They've always been very good on vault, but it's taken several years for the other apparatus to catch up. And with that round-off double top dismount, she shows a tremendous amount of difficulty.
Yes, indeed, lots of positives in the work from India. The consistency, the clarity, that's got to be the next target, and it will be. But they're putting some good building blocks into their exercises. Ellie Cheatham, 11.25. And she's also conducting the entire crowd.
Next to perform for Scotland will be Ava
McFarlane, the next to perform on floor for Team Scotland. For a very hard-working gymnast representing Scotland, Ava McFarlane.
It's clear that a lot of care has been devoted to the choreography of that exercise, making sure that it matches the music to every beat.
10.05. Yes, it really did work so harmoniously with the orchestration. That's ever so important on floor. Pratishta Samanta. Third performance for her at her second Commonwealth Games.
impressive. She's setting up for her acrobatic series. Back handspring layout to 2 feet. Very nicely done. She takes a lot of risk, especially with that second element in the set. Landing on 2 feet from a layout. One of the harder things one can do on the balance beam. And she will be rewarded nicely with difficulty. Side aerial.
Performance from Pratishtha Samanta. Some complicated gymnastics.
All of it really well handled too.
$11.5 for Ava McFarlane's floor performance.
Come on.
25-year-old Lottie Smith is next to perform on floor. What beautiful dance. If you want to know what it means to represent Scotland at the Commonwealth Games, read Lottie Smith's social media post. She thanked so many people, including the family who'd driven her up and down the country for 20 years. And she finished by saying to her younger self, "It's worth it in the end, my girl," and put a happy tears emoji. 10.05. The score on beam for Pratishtha Samanta. Nishka Agarwal of India.
Round off layout, step out mount, very ambitious. One of the hardest mounts that we will see on the balance beam at these Commonwealth Games. Break, layout, step out, nearly. One of the hardest things in gymnastics to do is remount the balance beam after an early fall and then do your acrobatic series. triangle for success in artistic gymnastics. First, there's mastering difficulty to the point where you are safe to compete it. Then there's executing that difficulty well, and finally, consistency. She's got the difficulty, the other two will follow.
10.6 is the score for Lottie Smith. And this is the last Scottish performance to come on floor before they head to vault to close their competition. Crystal Lake. Due to injury. She, along with every single member of this Scottish team, has at some point, and quite recently, felt a million miles away from a Commonwealth Games. Every one of them has made it. If you are looking for Scottish sporting inspirations, look not at the medal table, look not at the scoreboard, look at the people, look at them, their stories, their personalities, their character, their soul.
And then also look at their tumbling, because it's very good. Front layout to front with 1.5 twist is what she opened with. Here's her double tuck. The choreography was just so enjoyable. The use of her hands and arms, the body waves. And she really gets into it.
9 exactly for Ishka Agarwal. The Indians will go to floor to finish their competition. We have this final score to be calculated. Hope that all is well there. 12.1, Crystal Lake. That's actually the strongest score that we've seen so far on floor. Now, on the subject of the strongest score that we've seen so far on floor, one really stresses the so far, and there's a reason for that.
And the reason is warming up right there on your screen. Ruby Evans, currently the World Championships silver medalist. She is a phenomenal tumbler, and the choreography of her routine is every bit as good as the acrobatic sequences. It's a rare combination.
The standings at the moment in the women's team competition, Scotland are at the top of the leaderboard, but it is an intermediary phase of the competition because we are halfway through this current rotation. One would expect the Welsh to go above Scotland if they carry on as they have been performing. Let's see where Singapore go.
And we are ready to begin rotation over on floor.
Singapore on beam, that could be a most interesting phase of the competition too. We're going to start with a very good gymnast on floor. This is Wales's Jemima Taylor. Competitions taking place throughout the United Kingdom, and you would get dozens of floor routines, one after the other. Jemima Taylor would turn up, and everyone would stop and just notice because of that presence she has. She had it then, she's got it even more now. It's been lovely seeing her really start to flourish on the international stage. Will begin the Singaporean beam rotation. Good luck to the whole team.
Really explosive switch leap with a half turn to a split jump. Setting up for her flight series. Back handspring. She goes for the layout to 2 feet. She nearly hangs on. We must emphasize how much harder that skill is than the layout step out, where a gymnast lands 1 foot at a time. Another solid punch front. There's a very appealing crispness to the way that she works balance beam. Quite exacting in her choreography. And she's got such a calm demeanor up there.
I was watching that exercise thinking, what's the word that I'm searching for there? And you said it's exactly crispness. And it really defines the whole Singaporean team on the apparatus.
Exactly.
Come on, Fran! Come on, Fran!
No surprise that that's the best score we've seen so far at the games on floor. 12.35 for Jemima Taylor.
Next to Wales, Francis Stone.
Another great performer on this apparatus, Frank Stone, the 16-year-old born in Derbyshire in England. On beam for the Welsh. Is it safe to say they're back on track now? It looks like it. 10.65. Emma goes beam score.
Breathe.
We'll continue with our focus on the Singaporean beam rotation. Here is Amanda Yap, who made the World Championship final last year.
And the reason that she was in the top 8 in the world is that she has wonderful combinations, like that sequence of leaps she displayed with the mount, and also skills like that, the very difficult switch ring performed with tremendous amplitude. Back handspring layout to 2 feet. We mentioned earlier how that is a much harder skill than the layout step out that many of the gymnasts use. There's a certain polish that gymnasts seem to acquire once they have been in a World Championship final. And that comes through in every movement that she makes. A certain confidence as well, perhaps. Skills in this routine. There's some skills that many gymnasts use, like the punch front. Few are delivered with such a sense of mastery. The dismount, also very complex. 2 back handsprings, 1.5 twists.
That is an exceptional performance from Amanda Yap. And absolutely, it is what she came here to produce. That would have been the key focus for her, delivering that beam performance. Well, she's got plenty of fans, Frank Stone. 11.95 is her score.
Our next representative for Wales on the floor is Emily Roper.
Emily Roper next to compete on the floor for Wales. Welsh champion on this apparatus. The Welsh floor champion, Emily Roper. And here is a score of consequence, 12.95 for Amanda Yap, the best score at the Commonwealth Games so far on the balance beam. Goes ahead of Philippa Buzutil of Malta. This is Alina Tan.
Very smooth Cossack sit position for her full turn. Is an acrobatic series that is really the reverse of what many gymnasts do. The back tuck first, followed by the back handspring. And well done to her for saving that front somersault. On balance beam, when it comes to wobbles, the judges actually categorize them, small, medium, and big. A small wobble will cost 1/10 of a point in execution. More consequential wobbles, perhaps 3/10 of a point, and the really big ones, 1/2 a point.
Good save at the end as she was just slightly leaning backwards, coming down to ground. Calmly handled. Lots of really calm gymnastics across the board from Singapore on beam. Good team spirit.
I would have loved my friend temperature.
Emily Roper scoring 11.8. Welsh are going to be at the top of the leaderboard.
Representing Wales is Ruby Evans.
Well, here we go, the last Welsh performer on floor, and it is the silver medalist at the World Championships last year. The first Welsh gymnast to win an individual medal at World Championship level. Be prepared for style and substance.
and doing them incredibly proud.
Yes, I think the floor leaderboard might be about to change. 10.75, Alina Tan's balance beam score. Singaporean team in second place at the moment. Now we go to Emma Yap on beam. She won the Singapore Open beam title very recently.
Very good Cossack spin, a double turn. Aerial to jumps, neatly handled. Good save on the switch leap. Side aerial. What we haven't seen from her yet is an acrobatic sequence of two elements connected that are flighted. She showed us a single back handspring, but that's not enough on its own to meet the requirement. It might be that her difficulty is going to be a bit lower because of that.
Powerful dismount, just bouncing backwards. She will head next to floor, where she was hugely successful at the Southeast Asian Games last year. Loved watching Emma Yap on floor at the Birmingham 2022 Games. There is the top score so far on floor. Ruby Evans 12.9. She has 3 penalty tenths.
That's for the out of bounds on her second line of tumbling, I believe.
But the difficulty score 5.4.
Some of the strongest and most complex tumbling we've seen so far, opening up with the double layout and closing with that gorgeous double tuck.
This is a reminder of the switch leap mount beginning for Emma Yap. Good stability there.
And a reminder of just how precise the gymnast has to be in executing these turns. Dismount in case of over-rotation. She holds the tuck position so long that she's completely moving backwards as her feet hit the mat.
The oldest and most experienced in the team at 21. Only one who's already competed at the Games. 9.9 for her. Well done to Singapore. They've moved ahead of the Scottish team into second place. We said keep an eye on them. Wales top of the leaderboard and top by a good margin. So really going into the last subdivision, if things continue in this next rotation as they have been going so far, it's Wales who will be the team that everyone is looking to get beyond. Very competitive effort from the Welsh, very strong. Malta, who were the top performers after the first couple of subdivisions, they are at the moment in 4th place. Vault will be the home of Scotland and Wales. A chance for Wales to get some good scores.
Yes, indeed. Ruby Evans, she really has 2 specialties across the 4 apparatus. There's floor, of course. There's also vault, where she shows a double twisting Yurchenko. That's what she has been training in the lead up to this competition.
And what's very nice is that we get to finish the whole of the subdivision with Emma Yap performing on floor. Just a nice bit of artistry, of creativity.
Gymnasts, your warm-up starts now.
Scotland then getting ready to embark upon their vault rotation, the last rotation. And I can tell you that coming up in the next subdivision, we've got the top 4 nations after Birmingham 2022. It was South Africa who were 4th at the last games, their best ever finish. They will be paired with Team England, who won the gold medal, and we'll have Canada and Australia. They will be paired in the manner that Scotland are paired with Wales. Canada and Australia. Goodness me, what quality of gymnasts and what experience of gymnasts in those teams. I wonder if the Canadians can make it a double. Only one way to find out, everyone. Canadian men's team victorious in yesterday's competition. The Welsh winners of 1 medal in the women's team event. That was here in Glasgow in 2014. England have been on every single team podium, the only team to be in that position. Australia, the most successful, they won 4 in a row from 1998 to 2010. Canada and England have each won it 3 times. Scottish men's team were of such entertainment to the fans in their final rotation yesterday. Gave it a really good go on the horizontal bar, got very close. Great to have you with us. I hope that you are enjoying all of the competition from Glasgow 2026, whatever it is you've been able to watch across however many sports. It's just lovely, isn't it, to be part of the atmosphere at multi-sport games.
The entire city has been incredible.
Then one would say it's Glasgow, it always is. I mean, it is one of the world's great cities, isn't it?
It is, and the friendliness of everyone has been so striking. They've been hugely welcoming.
It is a friendly city. It's a very chatty city. It's the kind of city where it's very easy to have lovely conversations with strangers and just to feel a sense of warmth about the place. It's very genuine. Let us begin this last rotation. Pratishta Samanta of India, her final performance for the team and in the individual qualification process. obviously carrying some discomfort into this competition with all of the protective taping on her leg. She's had a great go at this today, Pratishta Samanta. Let's have the whole Indian team. Lottie Smith at the vaulting table. Last performance in the team final.
We'll be seeing a round-off entry vault from Lottie. This is the Yurchenko with full twist. Good on her for getting that around. It can be quite jarring on the ankles, this.
She felt it immediately.
A difficult landing, but such determination not to put a hand down, not to fall.
That way a little bit. Bottom that way.
Well, she is moving, but very gingerly.
The score coming through on floor for 10.75.
10.75 scored by Pratishta Samanta on floor.
Our next gymnast representing India on the floor is Ishita
Rivalia, the next gymnast to represent India on floor. Taught in the performing arts is to commit to what you're doing. That was choreography that she absolutely embraced. Lovely to watch. 11.9 for Lottie Smith, but what we really hope more than anything else is that she's okay. Ava McFarlane.
Once more, Yurchenko style vault.
Also has a difficult landing. And it has been such a high-intensity day for Team Scotland. And I just remind you of all that Ava McFarlane has endured and all of the incredible determination she has shown to get back to being an all-around gymnast. She couldn't have tried harder, she couldn't have given more, she couldn't have been more committed to the team calls. It's like a gymnast who really enjoyed being out there and performing that exercise.
The dance steps were so memorable. You're absolutely right.
Nice.
10.3 is that McFarlane's score. Ellie Cheetham, silver medalist at the Scottish Championships on vault.
Very powerful. Yurchenko with a full twist. Really well done. Absolutely right.
Really well done, Ellie Cheetham, full stop on a triumphant return 6 years after retirement.
Nice for her to end the day with a clean, solid vault like that.
10.35, the score awarded to Shita Devalia. Nishka Agarwal of India, their last gymnast on floor. The Indian team, a clear indication of the progress that they've made and the hope for the future. 12.7 Ellie Cheetham's vault score. Vaulting now for Scotland, Crystal Lake, indicating that she will perform the Yurchenko 1.5 twist.
The most ambitious vault we have seen from a Scottish gymnast. And wonderfully executed.
That will do her all-around prospects the world of good.
What makes the Yurchenko with 1.5 twists so difficult is its blind landing. She doesn't see the mat before her feet hit the ground. There's also the extra half twist of rotation to get through. You need a really good push off the table. She's got great technique on this vault, and so she gets that. Plenty of time to make the twist, open out her arms, and go for a quality landing. Back handspring onto the horse, and then 1.5 twists off. Keeps it well within bounds as well.
Subdivision 3
One suspects a very positive number is coming here from the judges' table.
She locked in. She locked in. Come on, hit with a 13. It's quite a deep one.
There we go, 13.05 for Crystal Lake. That has now put her at the top of all-around qualification as things stand, but with the gymnasts from Wales and Singapore to come. Mishka Algaval picks up an 8.75 score. Now we come to Singapore and to Wales. The Singaporeans on floor. The Welsh at the vaulting table, and they've got the potential to pick up some big numbers.
We're going to see the hardest vault of this competition from Ruby Evans. The same that we saw from Crystal Lake, but with an extra half twist. Half twist makes the vault substantially more difficult. She'll be rewarded in the score if she can stand it up.
She'll be aiming for a 5.0 degree of difficulty to her vault, 4.6 for Crystal Lake, 4.2 for many of the gymnasts because they perform the full twisting Yurchenko, so you get it effectively an extra 8/10 for a further full twist. Emma Go performing on floor for Singapore, their last rotation. I believe that was the fifth element in the fourth rotation of the third subdivision from Emma Go. Great bit of music.
The Welsh can further distance themselves from their competitors. It starts out with a lovely full twisting Yurchenko by Frank Stone. So
that is the 4.2 degree of difficulty vault.
She makes this look just effortless. Watch the body position in the air. The layout is beautiful. The twist really efficient. Her leg form is excellent. Everything locked out, the toes pointed, and a really well-controlled hop. Really the only visible deduction. And she's not going to lose very much for that. This is an exhibition of good vaulting technique.
Those of you who are new to watching vaulting, just keep that in your mind. Remember how that vault looked. Because what we anticipate from Ruby Evans is a whole extra twist. 13.2, a 9 for execution. Great work. Now, being indicated on the board for Abby Roper is the double twisting Yurchenko.
She's quite capable of it. There it is.
Extra twist on the body. Almost impossible to see if you're new to watching it, but the replay makes it very clear. 11.15. Emma Go's score. We'll come back to that in due course. With plenty more opportunities to see a double twisting Yurchenko. Now to Amanda Yap. Applause for Amanda Yap of Singapore from the crowd in the arena at Glasgow 2026. .45 for the double twisting Yurchenko from Abby Roper. That's the one for the team. This is for her bid for the vault final.
It's a very complex vault.
It's a very good one.
She handled that really well. Another beautiful piece of vaulting. Again, with the round-off entry, this time she does a half turn before her hands touch the table, and then a front flip with a half twist off. So there's a lot going on. And look at her leg form. The legs never come apart. The toes remain pointed. She navigates the half onto the table and then the half twist at the end of the flip really well.
Two very high quality vaults from Roper.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my god, my posture.
12.5 for
Second
Amanda
highest.
Yap, the second best score we've seen so far on floor. Abby Roper, 13.275 average. 12.7 for the second vault. That's the best vault score we've seen. Emily Roper is next. She is indicating a full twisting Yurchenko as her opening vault. Let's see.
That's exactly what it is. Very much like what we saw from Frank Stone. Really good in the air. And a well-controlled landing also. Very confident vaulting from the Welsh women.
Alina Tan, penultimate gymnast for Singapore on floor. She won the Singapore Open on floor last year. Performances on floor, Singapore, very much as they were in Birmingham 4 years ago, marked out for their style, their individuality, and their happiness with how it's all going. So 13.1 for Emily Roper's first vault. That for the team, this might be more difficult.
Oh, beautiful that. And what makes it great is the way that she holds the layout position throughout the second flight of this vault off the table. This is similar to what we saw earlier, but that one was tucked. This one laid out, round off, half turn,
Come on, Ray.
front layout,
Come
half.
on, Ray, you got this.
13.1.
Come.
So in case you're wondering, how does 13.1 plus 13.1 divided by 2 equal 13.3? It's because she gets the 2/10 bonus for the different directions of the vaults. Now, Ruby Evans, big vault coming.
Double twisting Yurchenko.
Huge, easy looking.
She just launches off the table. The great technique that she has on this vault gives her a really big piece of air to work with. Watch her snap right there as she absorbs the table through the shoulders. There. And she just rockets upwards.
11.9, Alina Tan. And now to the Singapore Open floor champion, Emma Yap, who thrilled the Birmingham crowd in 2022 with her lovely, sincere expressivity. floor, you forget that you're watching a series of compulsory things that must be done, of tumbling passes that must be performed, of requirements. You just see an artistic display performed by a gymnast who's a lovely dancer.
That's very well put. The tumbling is really good as well. This is her middle pass, 1.5 twist, right to a punch front. She opens up and closes the routine with double flipping somersaults. This is the tuck double back, and that's what she finishes with. Keeps her knees together throughout the sequence. And just a little wink at the judges right at the end.
Well done, Team Singapore.
Oh my God. Okay, wait there.
Ruby Evans, look at that score, 14.05. The Welsh are serious contenders in this team competition.
Hold it. One more. Drag it. Right, can you take that? Other way.
The Welsh have averaged just under 12.8 per exercise. Emma Yap, 12.2. That's the 4th best score that we've seen on floor so far. That might not be the only selfie that they will. They'll probably get a better one later. Somebody switched the lights off at the wrong time, but they've lit up the competition. Might not be the only selfie we get from the Welsh. Wales in the lead, and really in the lead. Scotland second, Singapore third, 1 subdivision to come. The Welsh have thrown down the gauntlet. Ruby Evans, the strongest performer in the all-around qualification so far. Singapore's Amanda Yap in 2nd place. A maximum of 2 gymnasts per Commonwealth Member Association can get into the 18-strong all-around competition. So there are some gymnasts here who would not be ranked because there are 2 teammates above them. Vault qualification is going very well for the Welsh. The top 8 get into the final, and the ropers are in very good order. In uneven bars qualification, it is Yuliwan of Malaysia who remains at the top, but the best performer in this subdivision was Emily Roper. Beam qualification is favouring Amanda Yap, the top performer. Floor qualification sees World Championship silver medalist Ruby Evans at the top of the pack, 4/10 ahead of Singapore's Amanda Yap. Fascinating entertainment. One subdivision still to go. The women's team final.